Hello everyone and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. Well, today we're going to be taking a look at the RoseCraft Blade's latest release. This is the RoseCraft Tuckahoe Jack, Sleeveboard Jack. This is pattern 32, and this particular one I'm looking at here is the Red Barnboard Jigged model. You also have the option of a gray Barnboard Jig model, which I do not have here to show you. Brand new out of the box, going to be released May 26th in those two options. Go to your favorite RoseCraft Blades dealer to find yours. Again, May 26th, dropping at noon Eastern time. But here we're going to got the Red Barnboard Jig. Beautiful, beautiful jigging on this, done by hand. And you can see just how they've grooved those bone handles. Beautifully done, dyed dark red handles on both sides here, very well matched. You can see just how dark that is, more of a burgundy color, right? If you kind of compare that to the red on the box there. But beautifully jigged. And again, this is a brand new pattern that they've released. It's the 5th one for round 7, so the final new pattern that we're going to see for round 7 of 2026, and then we'll move on to round 8 whenever that will be. So looking forward to even more new patterns. But for the remainder of the year, I can guarantee you that there will be many more releases of patterns that have already been released with new handle material. So we're just gonna have some rehandles of some of our favorite knives, but this is a brand new one here, and you can see how that tapers to make it a sleeve board from the top down to the bottom. Just a bare end design here, so we just have the single bolster with the thread and the new heart shield. So the interesting thing about the heart shield is this is the first time they've used the heart shield, and the also completes the card suit collection. So if you wanted to try to buy a knife with each of the card suits, that is now a potential possibility for you. Just to give you a couple of examples of where you might find the other shields, you have the spade on a senator, which was beautiful design there, and then you had the club on a Stinking Creek sow belly, and then you had a diamond, I know, on the loom fixer. So those 4 knives will give you a collection of all 4 of the shields. But and he's done a good job of, changing up those shield designs on all the different knives. He's released quite a number of different shields, including the skull shield on the Obed and the Easy Open. He's had 2 different kinds of rosebud shields, the rose balm and the regular rosebud shield. So he's keeping that mixed up and doing a good job of transitioning to different things there. But beautiful barnboard jig on this. They've done a fantastic job. The pins are super smooth. The hafting seems to have been improved. It's much smoother around the corners now, I'm noticing. That definitely has changed. The end here is definitely a way of noting that they've done more on that, where they've smoothed the edges. So I think this might be the first time where I can say that they've definitely taken sort of the corners off of the knife. It feels much smoother than some of the other knives that I've handled. But beautiful stainless bolster here with the threading, and then again you get that nice heart shield. The Tuckahoe name I could probably live without. We've talked with Andy about that. I feel like he's just kind of playing an inside joke on us at this point, but that's neither here nor there. And the heart could kind of be seen as something else as well if you have a creative mind, have a little bit of imagination. Let's take a look at the blade we've got here. That's about a 7-pull, by the way, with the half stop. And that is going to be a spear point blade. So you've got a total length on that blade of 2.5 inches, a cutting edge about 2 1/4. Let's take a look at the grind on that, just how they've done that. Beautiful satin finish on that with the long pull and the deep swedge. And then there's a look at your blade edge. Again, I expect this would be very sharp. All my RoseCraft now just come out of the box ready to cut. No need to take off any of a burr or anything like that. You are ready to go right out of the box. But that is a beautiful spear point design. Nearly, it's almost clip pointish, you know. It's just been a little more narrow at that end. So, sort of a clip pointish spear point. It's got a little bit of a different design than most spear points you're going to see. But great action on this. Half stop, very affirmative. Closes with authority. That beautiful long pole, you get your nail right in there. It's perfectly placed. Snaps and locks up very, very well. Of course, with the smaller handle, it's, you know, not going to be able to get all 4 fingers on there. Not quite. But, you know, pretty close. It just kind of wraps that back one behind. I guess you could consider this a pen knife, right? But with the thickness of those liners, probably going to be a little more of a substantial knife to use and carry than your typical pen knife. But the versatility of a spear point, you can't really ask much more than that. This is probably, you know, the do-all style blade. And obviously, while you'll find that on a Swiss Army knife, they've decided that that is sort of the go-to blade for all sorts of tasks. It's one of those blades that maybe doesn't do everything the best, but can do more than any other blade in terms of all-around tasks. Can puncture, slice, cut, draw cut, whittle probably. Maybe not the best whittling blade, but can do it. But beautiful, beautiful 14C28N steel on this. We've transitioned over to stainless style, away from the D2. This is, of course, the 5th one that they've done that. They started that with round 7, the 14C28N. Stamp blades you will get on these knives. You're not going to have an etch on both sides, but you do have an etch on the back. You have the Andy Armstrong maker's mark there and the model number, along with the blade steel identification. Again, this is pattern 32. Look at the hafting on that. It's just done so well. You can see how that tapers down and meets the bolster. Look at the back of that. It looks all like one solid piece. They just do such a fantastic job of crafting these knives. In the half stop position, again, still flat. Full open position, still flat. I mean, it's incredibly well made. And of course, you get that signature swedge. Andy has always been a big fan of the swedging on that. But brand new design. Overall length, I believe we have 5.9 inches. Just shy of 6 inches. So 5.9 inches overall length. What's the weight on it? Well, we can weigh this guy. I think it's about 2 ounces. Maybe need to wait a bit. There we go. Let's clear that. All right, there you go. 2.059, so just over 2 ounces. And yeah, but the thing I think that makes this stand out is the fact that it's just going to be a little thicker. A little more broad knife in this size. 3.5-inch knife, you would expect maybe be a little smaller with just one blade. But you got some substantial blade stock on it. And again, if you look at the liners, pretty substantial, pretty thick. Going to be like the same size liners that you would have on any of their larger knives. But yeah, they have the integral bolster on here, but it doesn't have obviously that second bolster, so they've terminated those bolsters on the other side, the way that they milled these out. But fantastic pull on that. Love the long pull on it. Fantastic action. Like a 7. I think they've kind of mastered how much pull strength they want, because they've really nailed it the last 3 knives. But yeah, barnboard jig on this particular one. You can get the gray one as well. Fantastic smaller knife, going to fit in, you know, your pocket. You can accommodate it a little easier than a larger knife, but it is a little broader. But at 2 ounces, very, very carryable. I think that's going to be a really popular choice for somebody who wants a little bit smaller knife with just a single blade. So there you have it, the RoseCraft Tuckahoe Jack in Red Barnboard Jig. You can also get the gray one. Again, they drop May 26th, noon Eastern time. So if you're looking for one of these, make sure you're getting to one of your favorite RoseCraft dealers there on the 26th. But that's going to do it for my review, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you stick around for the slideshow coming up next, and we will see you next time. Take care.